It's Wednesday, it's New Comic Book Day, and when Mrs. Hall Yeah sees the credit card statement for this week's purchases, she's gonna beat my ass. Welcome to Hall Yeah Comics. My name is Nate, and I have issues. Today's issues are mostly brand new. It's New Comic Book Day, and I was able to go to the comic book store, and I picked up quite a few books, so I thought this would be a good week for me to make a video about my new purchases. To start off, though, I did spend more than I intended to, and I do think maybe my wife will have words with me. We'll see. But I want her to know it's not my fault. You see, I hang out and do live streams with a lot of other comic book YouTubers, and there were a couple things that I saw in the store that I had to get based on things that they had shown. I really had no choice in the matter. This is not my fault. This is their fault. So the blame falls squarely at their feet. I don't think I'm very good at winking. So first up, I picked up a Weird War number 89. So this one, Eric from SideQuest Comics, he showed this one on a live stream, and I mean, come on. That's amazing, right? Like, it says, would you dare defy the primate platoon? I mean, probably not, because they're gorillas, and gorillas are freakishly strong, but just, monkeys with guns, anything with crazy animals on it. And I do collect Weird War from, time to time when it's cheap. This wasn't particularly cheap, but it's in really good condition, and it's a book a friend showed me that I wanted to check out, so I was really happy to pick this one up. And then my next purchase, this one's going to be all Dope's fault. So Dope from Dope Comics, he is a collector of all things horror, and he loves the old EC books. I do too. Now, I don't collect the individual issues because they're way too pricey. I mean, even the reprints from the 90s can get expensive, but I do like to collect the hardcovers. And those are out of print, and those are hard to find, and now they've been putting out these softcover trades, and I saw this one, and I had to get it. So this is Weird Fantasy Volume 3. I had to get it for two reasons. Number one, I mean, come on, dinosaurs and spaceships on the cover, that's just amazing. Like, and then check out here's the covers for the issues that are on the back, and every last one of them. I just love the whole EC motif. I love the morality tales that they tell in their stories, and because I'm a big fan of sci-fi and classic science fiction, this one has an adaptation of a story by Ray Bradbury in it. So they had all, Tales from the Crypt, Vault of Horror, Weird Fantasy, Weird Science, they have all of these coming out, and the price is really good. I mean, for a trade of this size, for 6 issues, $20. I mean, you can't beat that. When I was collecting the hardcovers, those are $50 a piece. So I just hope that when it comes to these two purchases I made that aren't New Comic Book Day purchases, I hope that Mrs. Hall Yeah realizes I had no choice in the matter. This is not my fault. And so it is New Comic Book Day, so what books did I pick up? First, I picked up Star Trek number 28. We see Benjamin Sisko as a Messiah-like character here, which is nothing new. If you watch Star Trek DS9, you know that he was the emissary. Now, what's going on in this particular storyline, which has a great title, When the Walls Fell, Shaka, When the Walls Fell, if you're a TNG fan. I really don't know what's going on in this series right now. I am horribly, horribly behind, but I continue to pick it up because the IDW Star Trek books have actually been really good. So there's this series, there's Defiant, and now there's Lower Decks that I've been picking up. And all of them are good. I'm just really behind on the storyline, so I haven't started this one yet. IDW, though, if you can see here, they changed their logo. It's terrible. Look at that. It's supposed to be an IDW, but it just looks like, I don't know, it just looks like ID. I hate it. I hate this new logo with a passion, but I'm continuing to pick this book up. Another book I'm horribly behind on, but have been getting caught up on, so I'm ready to pick up where All In has started with The Flash. I am so excited for The Flash, Enter the Warlord, Travis Morgan. I don't know, I saw him pop up in something I was reading recently. I can't remember if it was Challengers of the Unknown or the Justice League, but there was like just a one-panel flash of Warlord, so I'm not sure what's going on. This is Wally in his new costume. Again, I'm behind, but the fact that Warlord's on this cover and a part of the storyline, I'm now very motivated to get caught up. This is not a new book, so this is Action Comics 1082. And I picked this one up, speaking of FOMO, I picked this one up because of my friend Matt from Matt Likes Comics. So in this book, Major Disaster is on the cover here, and apparently also appearing in this issue is the Almighty Bruce. These are two characters who were used in the Justice League International during the 80s and 90s, which was the run that I am, most fond of. I'm the most nostalgic for that run. So the fact that these characters have come back, I went ahead and picked it up. I don't normally pick up Action, but we'll see if I continue with it. The fact that those two characters are in this was enough for me to plunk down the cash and pick this one up. Now, I'm not picking up Action, but I have been picking up Superman, and Superman number 22 came out today. This is Planet Doomsday. I have really enjoyed this. The whole all-in thing that DC has been doing has been a lot of fun. There have been way more hits than misses. And in my opinion, this Superman title has been very good. So Lois now has superpowers. She is Superwoman. Where her powers come from, nobody's quite sure at the end of Absolute Power, which I did not read. Everybody had lost their powers. Amanda Waller had stolen all the superpowered, the metahumans' powers. And then when they were released, some people got powers that were, some people got different powers or powers that didn't belong to them. Some people are mixed up. Somehow Lois got powers equivalent to Superman. So she is Superwoman. And I just really like that. I have always, their relationship in comics is one of my favorite. Like, it feels very drama free, the way that the two of them are. And so her getting superpowers and getting to be a part of his world in that way, which is different from the way she normally is a part of Clark's world, I think is really awesome. One of my favorite new ongoings out of the All-In event is Justice League Unlimited. I just love the idea of it feels like the old Justice League Unlimited cartoon where literally all the heroes of the DC universe were available and they could be a part of any team. Everybody's operating out of the Watchtower satellite. In this issue, it looks like we're going to get Swamp Thing. I mean, I don't know. I think it's really cool. It's just been a really fun read so far, and I hope it continues being as much fun as it has been. So Justice League Unlimited, another one of the all-in books that I really have enjoyed and recommend. This is another book that's everybody's fault but mine, okay? Yeah, I was on board for Absolute Batman, and I didn't really care for Absolute Superman. I tried Absolute Wonder Woman, and it wasn't, in my opinion, it wasn't my thing, but then, like, all these other people that I watch, Eric from 9-Panel Grid and Cliff from Cliff on Comics, I think also John from John's Comics with Kids, they all rave about Wonder Woman, Absolute Wonder Woman. So a couple of weeks ago, I had picked up the number 1, but I dropped off. I didn't pick up any of the others, but because everybody had talked so highly of it, I had this really light week. I only had like 2 or 3 books to pick up, so I went ahead and picked up 2 and 3 of Absolute Wonder Woman. And it's really good. So I went ahead, I picked up number 4 today. If I continue to like it, I may even add it to my pull list. This is just a very different take on Wonder Woman. One of the things that I don't particularly care for in Wonder Woman is the Greek gods and things. I just don't have a lot of interest in that. But this removes that. There's no Amazons. She's raised by Circe. There's magic. There's a giant sword. She only has 1 arm. She rides a demon horse and she fights monsters. It's a ton of fun, and it's big. Like, what's happening in the book is just enormous. So I have really been enjoying this, and it's been a pleasant surprise. So I hope it continues to be as good as it has been, and I hope it continues to be a fun read. And then the last book I picked up this week was Metamorpho issue 2. I did go ahead and get this variant cover. I'm not a big variant cover buyer for the most part, but I don't know. This one was just kind of cool. To me, this book is really going back to its Silver Age roots. It has this feel in the language and the pacing of, the 1960s. It feels very like hip. I don't know how to explain it. There's just a vibe it has, and I've really enjoyed it. Now, I will say that issue 1 I don't feel like was the best jumping on point for somebody who didn't know anything about Metamorpho. He's a character that, has always kind of been a C, a D lister. I think he's very interesting. His power is that he can turn his body into any element. And like Plastic Man, he can also change himself into any shape. It's a fun book, and the characters that they've brought back, like Element Lass, Urania Blackwell, is that her name? I really only know her from the Sandman story that she appeared in, where she was wanting to die, and Death went to visit her, and it was a great story. So issue 1, I really liked. Even if it wasn't a great jumping on point for a new reader, me knowing the background of the characters, I liked a lot. I'm hoping that as they continue their story, they give some more background on who the characters are, because there's a lot of interesting dynamics between Simon Stagg and his daughter, Sapphire, and then Rex Mason Metamorpho, and Java, the unfrozen caveman who's in love with the daughter, but, you know, Rex is... It's a whole thing. It's comics. So anyway, I hope that this is as good and continues to be good, but the regular cover is also pretty awesome. There we go. We've got Sapphire and Element Lass and Metamorpho all playing in a band. Oh, Java's on the drums. So that was a great cover, but I also really like this one, and that's one of the things I really like about DC is if I want to get the variant cover, I can get it, and I still get the A cover underneath. Unlike Marvel, where if I want to get a variant cover, then my opportunity cost is I've got to let the other one go. So that was it. Metamorpho number 2 is another book that I'm really excited to throw on the read pile and see what happens next. So those are the books I picked up today on New Comic Book Day. If you would, please leave me a comment below and let me know what books you got. Whether they're the same or different, my favorite part about all of this is having conversations with you about the books that you love. So I want to hear from you, and I promise if you leave me a comment, I will reply to it. I think that's it. So thank you so much for being here. If you would, give the video a like, subscribe if you're not subscribed, and I will see you in the next one. Thanks so much. Bye-bye. Yeah.